Welcome back. After we took a break from all the rush and hurry and listened to some character themes, we're right back with some action music again. We'll begin with a track which is named accordingly. Every Final Fantasy game has to have a few different tracks. Battle music, a world map theme, and we also need running out of time music. Hurry is the first of two of these songs in FF7. It starts with a ticking clock. Now, this is not exactly groundbreaking, but I thought we could talk about it nonetheless. The use of the ticking clock falls into a category of compositorial techniques that musicology professor Claudia Bulayan calls the mood technique. More specifically, the subsection sensory music. This concept, usually applied to movie scores, but I think it fits quite well here, describes music that is designed to evoke a physical response in the recipient, in this case the player, him or herself. Now, as I've said before, the ticking clock may not be the most subtle way to do this, but it certainly does the trick. I don't know about you, but it instills an immediate sense of urgency and even danger in me. Another way Uematsu achieves this is by using a simple half-step key change from F minor to F sharp minor, which gives the track a sense of forward motion. I could have sworn this piece was played during the escape from Reactor 1 in the opening sequence, but it turns out that wasn't the case. Which, by the way, goes to show you just how well Opening Bombing Mission was really designed. Instead, we can hear the track during the train sequence and while climbing the pillar in Sector 7. Another interesting thing I realized when I took the screen caps for this episode was that both times this track is played, someone actually says the name of the song. Now, again, not really a groundbreaking analytical fact, but I thought it was kinda funny. As we start our infiltration of the second reactor, we hear a jazzy tune called Lurking in the Darkness. Now, I could do a whole chord Roman numeral analysis and look at the progression and all that, but I think a quick look at the drums should be enough. This is a typical drum pattern in jazz. So typical, in fact, that when you look up jazz drum patterns, this is one of the first examples you can find. This music is played anytime we are what I would call behind the scenes. Places where engineers and maintenance workers go to fix things, unseen and unnoticed. The empty train tunnels, the ducts and walkways leading to the Sector 5 reactor, or the sewers below Midgar. I was 9 or 10 the first time I played this game, and to this day I still associate this kind of music with covert sneaking missions and hard to reach places. There is actually a melody here that we can hear later, although it's not obvious at first. In fact, it's more of a rhythmic motif. Don't ask me why. There may well be a reason, and there certainly is infinite room for interpretation, but I think this might simply be a case of Uematsu reusing a melody that he liked. And here we have the Shinra theme. I think this track is amazing. And even if it wasn't for One Winged Angel, I would still think Final Fantasy VII had a great villain theme, just because of this song. It reflects Shinra's absolute power, their ruthlessness and the game's motive of technology versus nature perfectly. The unstoppable nature of the company's/world government is represented in the clearly defined upward progress of the melody. The rhythm is quite simple and sort of mechanic. To me, this mechanic rhythm serves to juxtapose nature and the planet against Shinra's inexorable destruction of the world by slowly draining it of life. The choir also sounds immensely powerful and, I can't think of another word, muscular. It's just comprised of a few simple chords, but it gets the point across. I've already mentioned that we can hear parts of the song in Mako Reactor. The main melody, the gist of the Shinra theme, reappears in several other tracks throughout the game. For instance, during the infiltration of the Shinra headquarters. We can also hear it in the track Shinra Army Wages a Full-Scale War. And of course, when Rufus is killed during the attack of Diamond Weapon. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers. Now, I should mention that the Shinra theme borrows from the Led Zeppelin song Kashmir. By the way, thanks to mjedder432, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, for pointing this out. As you can hear, the similarities are quite striking. But I think we're a step or two away from plagiarism. I would call this inspiration. As I mentioned before, I think this is a wonderful theme, and it showcases the way Uematsu uses different techniques to create simple yet effective musical motifs. And that was it for part 3. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 4.